it said that God so loved that he gave. You got to understand that when a man loves you, you can see what love does. Love don't keep giving you excuses. Do you hear what I'm saying? Love don't keep giving you a reason why I can't do this and I can't do that and I can't be faithful and I can't be consistent. I can't be dependent upon. You got to understand when love is involved, you got to understand that love does something. Why don't you look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, love does something. Do you hear what I'm saying? The Bible said, the Bible said that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. You got to understand that when you truly love something, you don't give the less, but you give the best. Do you hear what I'm saying? Love will make a sacrifice. Do you hear what I'm saying? Some of y'all said, what's the sacrifice? Can I tell you what the sacrifice was? It said that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Some of y'all ain't gonna give nobody nothing unless you got some extra. Do you hear what I'm saying? Some of y'all ain't gonna get nobody nothing unless you got 4 or 5 in the closet. Do you hear what I'm saying? Some of y'all ain't gonna bless nobody unless it's your excess. But you gotta understand, when you love, I feel like preaching all by myself. Do you hear me? When love, God gave his only son. Tell somebody, when somebody loves you, they'll give the last dollar. Do you hear me? When somebody loves you, they'll give the last stuff. Oh, I wish I had some help here today. You gotta understand that God wants your best. And when you love, you'll give your best commitment. You'll give your best faithfulness. You'll give your best dedication. You'll give your best loyalty. Oh, I got to get out of here, y'all. But I want to tell you, when you truly been loved, love will make you get up when you don't feel like getting up. Love will make you take out the trash when you don't want to take out the trash. Love will make you watch the opera when you don't even like opera. Do you hear what I'm saying? Love will make you go to a bullfight when you don't even like bulls. Do you hear what I'm saying? Tell somebody that when you love, you'll show your love. I'm so glad. That's why I love me some Jesus. Do you hear what I'm saying? That's why I love me some Jesus, because he didn't have to die, but he died one Friday. Anybody know about Friday? Friday. One Friday. That's why I love me some Jesus. Some of y'all, if you had to die, you would have said, I sure hated player. You done been Andre. You got to understand, before they killed my Jesus, they had lied on him. They had spit on him. They had talked about him. I wish I had some real folk. You know, if that had been you, you would have told God, I wish I would. Oh, Lord, make you keep your words. Jesus came to die. Oh, he came to die. That's why I love me some Jesus. He knew if he didn't die and get up, I might not live. Somebody say, why he do it? Tell me, because love. I don't know what Tina and Ike was talking about when they wrote the hit song. What's love got to do with it? They told me it was a second-hand emotion. When I stopped by to tell you, Tina, you need to understand that love is what got me saved. It's love that saved my life. Anybody glad about God's love? High five somebody, say, I'm glad. Oh, I'm glad. Oh, I'm glad. Oh, I'm glad. Oh, Tell your neighbor, say neighbor, I can tell the way you're acting. You don't know about this love. Say neighbor, this love will love me when I'm broke to the floor. Tell somebody this love, when I done tripped, he still loves me. Drunk as a skunk, he still loves me. High as a kite, he still loves me. Tore from the floor up. Tell somebody when nothing else could do. Love, 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 love. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, I know you think I'm crazy. Say, neighbor, I know you want to say why you're acting a fool, but tell your neighbor it's because he loved me. Do I have any witnesses that can tell your neighbor he loved me when I didn't love me? Oh, I wish I had some help. Have you ever been to the point where you didn't love yourself? Do you hear what I'm saying? But God came and told you you're not loving yourself, but it was love that lifted me. Oh, love! Oh, love! Oh, love! Oh, love! Lord, help me. Lord, help me. Ruby, I'm trying to let it go. Shasta, I'm trying to let it go. I'm trying to let it go. But if you ever had fake love, right now, you ought to thank God for all the fake lovers. Because if you hadn't had fake love, you wouldn't know real love. Do you hear what I'm saying? I'm so glad that his love don't cause me to do stuff I shouldn't do. His love don't cause me to go places I should not go. I'm so glad that all his love does is say be faithful. Just be faithful. If you be faithful over a few things, I'll make you ruler over many things. Y'all got to excuse me, church, but I thank God for his love. I thank God. I thank God. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I got to go. But before I go, I need a few of y'all to help me out. I need for a few of y'all to grab a neighbor by the hand. Just grab one neighbor, grab him by the hand, and say, neighbor, the reason I'm acting like I'm acting, I've been bit by the love bug of Christ. Tell somebody that when you've been bit by the love bug of Christ, it'll make you love your enemies. It'll make you talk back, stop talking about folk, and start praying for folk. It'll make you love folk who misuse you on purpose. It'll make you love folk who kick you to the curb. Somebody say, what is it? It's the love. Oh, it's the love. Oh. Give God some praise. Give God some praise. Give God some praise. Now look at your neighbor and give him a real big smile. And when they ask you why you're smiling, tell them that's the love in me. Tell them that's the love. They say, why you smiling? All in my face. Say, neighbor, when you think about the love of God, you can't help but smile no matter how rough it is. But you think about the love of God. Even when you feel like crying, you think about his love. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Won't you taste him? Won't you taste him? Won't you taste him? Wow! Give God some praise. Give God some praise. Give God some praise. Give God some praise. Y'all gotta excuse me. Y'all gotta excuse me. Woo! Y'all gotta excuse me. I supposed to been done. About 14 minutes ago. But I made one mistake. I started thinking about his love. I wish I had some help Is there anybody who can tell your neighbor you can't even think about his love and not wave your hand? Oh, I wish I had some help up in here. You can't think about it. You ought to tell somebody what I've got right now. Look at your neighbor. Say, it wasn't my husband. It wasn't my wife. It wasn't my boo. It wasn't my boyfriend. It wasn't my girlfriend. But tell your neighbor what it was if it had not been for the Lord on my side. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, I might not be the cutest thing, but I look pretty good. And say, neighbor, you got to understand, it ain't cosmetic. And I look good because the love of God. Some of you say, neighbor, if you knew what I've been through, you wouldn't even sit next to me. But say, neighbor, can I tell you what it is? I don't look like what I've been through. I've been to hell and back, but I don't look like it. Nick Roston walked out on me, but I don't look like it. Nick Gresham kicked me to the curb, but I don't look like it. It was love. Love. Give God some praise. Lord.